Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be what you don't know will hurt you. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So when you heard the expression when you were younger, what you don't know can't hurt you, you thought that that was true. And then you realize that when you are in the narcissistic relationship, nothing, and I mean nothing, can be further from the truth, because you didn't know what narcissism was, and what you didn't know actually did hurt you. Now, in the relationship, you were taken super high and you were dropped super low. You were on a roller coaster of emotions, and you did not know what you were up against. The narcissist knew exactly what you were and the level of empathy you had and all of your resources, and they wanted to extract these from you. But you didn't know back then. You didn't know that there were people out there that certainly did not have your best interest at heart. You didn't know that there were people who could literally manipulate other people into doing things for them. You didn't know that there were people out there like flying monkeys, people who do the bidding for the narcissist who actually enjoy watching the destruction of other people's lives. You didn't know what gaslighting was when the narcissist was having you doubt your sense of reality. You didn't know that narcissism was prevalent on the planet. Perhaps you thought that the narcissist was just a person that wanted to see their reflection in a river or a stream or a mirror. That's just one tiny little part of what narcissism is. But what you didn't know did hurt you. Again, this video isn't to trigger you or upset you. It's to let you know you are now getting the wisdom, you are applying the tools, and you are learning all about the definitions in the glossary on the narcissistic abusive cycle. You see, a couple things the narcissist did not want you to figure out. One, that they are a narcissist. Two, they didn't want you to figure out that they were manipulating you. Number three, they didn't want you to see behind the mask. And number four, they did not want you to realize that they never cared about you. What they cared about is what you provided for them. Because the narcissist looks at each and every individual, each and every person as an opportunity. And they look at this thing called life as a way to manipulate and move around the chess pieces on the board of life, if you will, to get anything that they want to from these people. It's not until you go no contact and you block these people, delete them and remove all flying monkeys, etc. That's when you really slow your life down and you apply the tools that are provided for you on the channel and in the community. But what you didn't know will hurt you. Think about this right now. As I'm creating this video, there are literally thousands of people, probably even tens of thousands of people, who are entering the narcissistic relationship and exiting it right now. Now, how people are entering it, very simple, through smartphones, dating apps, social media platforms, maybe in person at gatherings or get-togethers or barbecues, or in hobby groups or organizations or communities. Maybe you just relocated and the narcissist is in the building where you live, but you don't know that they're a narcissist. Now that's one part, and the other thing is these relationships are blowing up left, right, and center all over the planet. Why? Because as these relationships are being created, there also is an equal and opposite reaction. Other relationships are ending. That's what the narcissist does. They want to twist the knife in people post-narcissistic relationship. They don't want people to heal. They want people to be stuck. They don't want people to see behind the mask. And they do know what they're doing. So if you think for a moment that the narcissist doesn't know what they're doing, you should be kinder, Andrew. Be kinder to these people. No, you shouldn't. Because they put their clothes on the exact same way that we do, and they breathe the same air, and they have a decision each and every morning on do they want to stand for goodness or not goodness. They make that decision each and every day. And no, the narcissist can't change. They only get worse over time. They only deteriorate, and they want to take you down for the count with them. That is why when the relationships end, they usually end with a thud, a crash, a bang. And it usually ends with a discard, a person who doesn't know what they don't know being thrown away like a sheet of paper crumbled up on the freeway. That's when you have to put yourself back together. That's when you have to hope that you find the needle in a haystack. That's when you have to hope that you're strong enough to break the trauma bond. That's when you have to hope that you can see behind the mask and one day go no contact. And all of these things are things that I've done. And I've done them, and I'm now at the pinnacle of indifference, the mountaintop of indifference. And I will tell you right now, weekly, I help people get to that pinnacle of indifference, the mountaintop of indifference during one-on-one sessions. And for many of these people, it takes time. It takes a lot of time, but in their time, they too reach the abundance where they should be vibrating high, and they do vibrate higher, but they've now understood that the narcissist can't change. They've given them so many opportunities. They've tolerated their poor behavior so many times. They've given them one too many chances, and the narcissist will not ever, ever change. They can't introspect, and they want people stuck in the low vibrational state where they exist. That was where I was. That certainly was where you were, or perhaps you still are, and you're developing or creating an exit plan. That's a good thing. Again, if you can't go no contact, remember, utilize gray rock these people. Become dull and boring and just simply get off of their radar. Now, exiting the narcissistic relationship, that is not a fun thing to do, no matter how it ends, because you're going to have to really hit a couple things in tandem. One, like I mentioned, you're going to have to figure out what narcissism is. Two, you're going to have to practice radical acceptance and understand that that person you are thinking about, they did not have your best interest at heart back then. They don't now, and they never will. That is exactly what the narcissist doesn't want you to figure out. The narcissist wants you believing in the mask. They want you believing in the possibilities of what once was. They want you believing in the possibilities of the future, i.e. future faking. They want to keep you trapped in the mindset of what the love bomb / euphoric stage was, when everything appeared to be puppies and rainbows, unicorns and butterflies. And did you have fun in the love bomb / euphoric stage? Of course you did. It was when you were taken on a whirlwind of emotions on a trip on the roller coaster, going super high. But as high as you went, you had to go equally that low. The thing is, when you were on the high of the love bomb / euphoric stage, you only stayed there for a brief period of time. And the price you had to pay to go on that ride is you had to go super low for such a longer period of time. And that is not a fair trade-off. That is not even close to equal. But remember, the narcissist was super gluing a mask to fit you, custom tailor-made, so that you would fall into the relationship with them. Maybe you fell in love with them. Maybe you entered a partnership with them or a business with them. Maybe you had kids. Maybe you got married. Maybe you relocated. Who knows what you did, but something attracted you to the narcissist, and the narcissist looked at you as the opportunity, as the person who didn't know their own worth or value, because probably, again, you were a people pleaser or a yes person, or you couldn't say no, the strongest word in the English language, or all of the above. I know one thing for certain: you didn't have boundaries when you're in the narcissistic relationship, but now my hope is you are applying and adding boundaries into your life, because post-narcissistic relationship, you really need to slow your life down. You need to take stock of those people around you. Are they worthy of your time? Do they benefit you? Are you in a reciprocal relationship with them, or are they just simply trying to take? If they're trying to take, I strongly suggest you remove those people from your life. You don't defend or explain anything to them. You simply do not share information about yourself with them. That's the path. That's what we must do. But what you don't know will hurt you. Imagine, if you will, if you were taught what narcissism was in school, or maybe you found the needle in a haystack before you entered the relationship with the narcissist. So you had the wisdom. You did not have the experience, but you knew what narcissism was, so you could look out for the signs and you could identify toxic behavior in a heartbeat. And this is very important, and you would be able to trust your instincts and intuition. You wouldn't test the relationship. In other words, you would pay attention to red flags as well. Imagine if you had that insight way back when, before you entered the narcissistic relationship. Well, probably what would have happened is you would have looked at entering the relationship with the person, and you would be testing them and seeing if their actions match their words, and seeing if they are stable and healthy, and seeing if they are available, and seeing how they treat the wait staff, and looking and watching how they treat their own children, and looking and watching how they treat people when you are in the presence of this person, but the people that they're talking about are not in the presence of the two of you. In other words, are they talking badly about people who are not currently with you when you were with the narcissist? Again, you didn't know they were a narcissist, but you could have identified all these red flags, and you could have said, you know what, the onus is on me. I have the wisdom. I have never entered a narcissistic relationship before, and from what I understand, it's very challenging, to say the least. So I am gonna throw caution to the wind, or not throw caution to the wind, whatever that expression is, and I am not going to enter the relationship, because this person has showed me enough of what I needed to see. They are not who they act like they are. They're not portraying themselves to be who they really are, is what I'm trying to share. So I'm gonna walk away. I'm gonna look for another romantic or relationship to enter. It won't be with that person, no matter how pretty or beautiful or handsome the person is. See, but you didn't know that back then. So now what you didn't know, it will hurt you, because of the experiences you now have acquired and the wisdom you've acquired, specifically being in the narcissistic relationship. And my hope is you're out of it by now, or you're looking to exit it. Now you know the red flags. Now you need to trust your intuition and instincts and pay attention to red flags. And now you know things that you don't know, they will hurt you if you don't pay attention. So that expression, whoever said it about 500 years ago, what you don't know won't hurt you. Not saying that that person was a narcissist, but who knows? The whole point is that expression is not valid in my eyes. What you don't know very well will hurt you. Think about this. Let's put narcissism on the side for a minute. You're in a different country and you're walking in fields of fruit everywhere, whatever kind of fruit you're imagining. And there are some really tasty fruits there, and then there's some fruits that you shouldn't be eating. Well, you take a bite of something that you're not supposed to be eating, and maybe you get sick for a couple days, you get a stomachache, etc., because nobody told you that that fruit you should not be consuming. It looks beautiful and pretty, and it looks tasty, but you shouldn't be biting it, but you didn't know it. And then you went to the hospital or you went to somebody and said, I ate this kind of fruit, what is it? And they're like, oh, you're not supposed to be eating that one. Well, you didn't know that back then. Now you do know. You know that there are things out there on the planet that will do harm to you and they will do damage to you. That's why you need to have boundaries. That's why you need to slow your life down. That's why you need to not overshare. That's why you need to remove yourself from the narcissist or any toxic energy vampires who are trying to swarm around you. That is why many times those of us on the healing path, many times we have to relocate. We have to accept the casualties of the relationship, which many times include our own kids or stepkids and extended family members and friends and colleagues and neighbors and coworkers, etc. All of these people, many of them were flying monkeys. Some of them were good people. Most of them knew the narcissist. And if you know people or are still in contact with anyone who knows the narcissist, in other words, you're one step removed from being in contact with the narcissist, I strongly suggest these people are removed. Now, when I say removed, I mean just don't communicate with them. You can block them, you can delete them, you can do whatever you want, but don't be talking with them, because if you are, what they will do at times, whether they know it or not, they have the ability to be a flying monkey, and they may be trying to gather information about you, your whereabouts, who you're dating, who you're living with, and what you're doing, your hobby groups and all that kind of thing. That's what the narcissist did in the beginning of the relationship with you. Remember, they were wearing a mask, they were manipulating you, they were making you believe that they were like-minded with you. They preyed upon your empathy. They preyed upon your ability to love. They preyed upon your resources. And this is why so frequently what people do when they enter these relationships, what they do is they many times put a roof over the narcissist's head, or they give them money or loan them money or provide something for them. The narcissist is gobbling this up left, right, and center because they can play the victim unlike anybody else. Now let's pause there for a moment. Have you ever played the victim card? Of course you haven't. Why would you? You're an authentic, genuine, honest, respectable, upstanding human being, as am I. Playing a victim card is when somebody is trying to be a wolf in sheep's clothing and they're trying to play on someone else's resources or their empathy or love or financial means. That's what the narcissist does. They come at you any angle. You never know which way they're going to approach you, but probably when you entered that relationship with them, number one, you were vulnerable. Maybe you just exited a relationship, or you just relocated or started a new business or moved or something. And number two, you didn't know what narcissism was. So you didn't know what you know now. And now you know that things that you don't know about, they will hurt you. Then they can hurt you. Again, this video is not a doom and gloom video. It's an uplifting video about boundaries and about understanding that you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. And if you've risen through the ashes like a phoenix and come through the fire, and you're now headed towards that pinnacle of indifference, the mountaintop of indifference, or if you've reached it, that is one heck of an accomplishment, let me tell you right now. Because what did you do along the healing path? Number one, you didn't quit. You didn't stop. Despite the sleepless nights, despite losing relationships left, right, and center, which are casualties of the relationship, despite having your finances drained, despite perhaps even going through the dark night of the soul, perhaps even being isolated in your own house or self-isolating. You've done something that most people can't wrap their head around because they haven't gone through the cycle. But what you did do is you learned that you had to heal from this relationship. It's unlike any other relationship you had ever been a part of. This is the relationship you need to heal from. And when you did that, you really took stock of not only the narcissistic relationship, but other people, including immediate family members in your life, or past teachers, or past lovers, or past friends, or people on trains, planes, automobiles, who knows? But you really looked at your life with the ability to zoom out, and you figured out, oh, that teacher in 6th grade, they were a narcissist. Oh my gosh, my second boyfriend or girlfriend, they were a narcissist. Oh my gosh, my neighbor, that's who they are. And now you can identify the signs. You can identify what triangulation is. You can identify what the smear campaign is. You can identify if someone is giving you anxiety just from being in their presence. You can identify what verbal abuse is. You now know what all these things are: mirroring, projection, object constancy. You know what triggers are. You know how You now know how to avoid triggers. You now know what you can do, when you can do it, and with whom you want to do it. You see, you're living your best life now. You're not living someone else's life. Your life was on hold. It was put on pause when you're in the narcissistic relationship because you put them high on a pedestal and you were doing what they wanted, when they wanted, and with whom they wanted you to do it. You lost all of your hobbies. You lost your network of friends. You probably lost some of your health. You definitely lost your finances, and you lost time. And all this was by design. It was to keep you stuck and trapped. And every once in a while, when you would catch a scent or a whiff of what the narcissist was doing to you, and you would try to communicate with them, what would they do? They would get you off the scent, and they would give you a little bit of the euphoric / love bomb stage, and you would say, oh, it's not that bad. Okay, yeah, everything's good. And then boom, Monday morning rolls around. Here comes the abuse ramped up again. And why it would be ramped up? Because they were punishing you for being you. And they needed a sounding board. They needed a walking apology. They needed the unpaid helper. They needed someone with a large bank account who could provide a leapfrog, the part of the relationship from where they came from, meaning the source of supply before you. They would utilize your resources to get to the new supply. You see, everyone in the narcissistic relationship, they're nothing but a pit stop. And that's how the narcissist looks at people, as many little pit stops. Maybe the pit stop is a month, maybe it's a week, maybe it's a year, maybe it's a decade, who knows? But the narcissist can never be satiated with one person. They cannot be satiated with one source of supply, no matter what you think. They need people to abuse and manipulate. And they do know that what other people don't know will hurt them. That is why the narcissist slithers away onto the new supply, which the new supply usually is an unsuspecting person, although not always, but you were an unsuspecting person because you didn't have the tools and the wisdom. But the narcissist does know what they're doing. And pity for the narcissist, no chance. Do I feel sorrow for the narcissist, or do I believe that there's even one iota of them that can change? No, there isn't. These people are walking doomsday machines, and they just want to create more destruction and more manipulation and more devastation in people's lives. And at one point, that was a period of your life, but that chapter is now closed, and now you are living your best life. Now you are reaching the doors of abundance and the possibilities of opportunities opening up for you because you've closed the chapter on the narcissist, you've blocked them, you've gone no contact, etc. And now you have healed, or you are healing, and you understand that that relationship was the relationship that almost took you down for the count, but it didn't. Hollywood could not write a script even close to what your life was like. But now you have serenity, calmness, peace, abundance, growth, opportunities. You can do anything you want to because you're narcissistic relationship free, and that is the path. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. Remember that. You are not alone. And remember, what you do not know won't hurt you. What you don't know won't hurt you. That's not true. What you don't know can really do damage to you. We now understand that, and that is what the narcissistic relationship did to us, but we are healing, or we have healed, and we are now in the third version of us, the strongest, most galvanized version of us known to humankind, a place where the narcissist did not think we would get to, a place where the narcissist can never get to, a place where you now are, or you're headed towards, and it is a great feeling, let me tell you. I love you all. God bless you. Have a great afternoon, and I will talk to you tomorrow. All right, enjoy yourself, everyone. I love you. Bye.